Ladies and gentlemen, we are now live here to kick the week off here in style on Sportswire Radio in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters here, Sportswire Radio. Well, we're going to certainly have a lot to talk about here in the world of Wrestling Zero. We're going to have a lot to talk about here in the world of the OGS and a championship with our name. But I feel it's right to do this here, and we didn't talk about this off the air. But I'd like to, for everybody that's here, if I could get a moment of silence for somebody that did so much for our wrestling community, somebody who did so much, especially for Wrestling Zero. Wrestling Zero wouldn't be where it was with one of the greatest minds in our circuit, in Kona Akumi. If those that don't know, 2 weeks ago, Kona Akumi way. And if everybody that's here and will watch this on the replay, just join me for a moment of silence and to honor somebody that we love, we cherish, and we thank so much for putting her blood, sweat, and tears into our sport. So please join me for a moment of silence in remembering Konan Akumi. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we can go back to your regularly scheduled programming. I know there's a lot to talk about, and I'm going to go straight to the point because the OGS has got a lot to say when it comes to the world of Wrestling Zero. He's got maybe a few things to say about Jay Ryan, and what about Ace Reed? He was the hardcore kid, but I don't know about that after a couple weeks ago, and plus, that championship on his shoulder, he is most certainly going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some new music, maybe, maybe not. Plus, I'm going to have an announcement between yours truly, Sportswire Radio, and Wrestling Zero. You're not going to miss all of this. As I stated, I'm going to go right to it because our guest, he's got a lot to say, and I don't want to anger him, especially after what he did to the likes of Jay Ryan, especially what he did to the likes of Alex James and anybody else out there in the world of Wrestling Zero. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce this man and give him that introduction that he deserves because he is one of the greatest professional backyard wrestlers of all time. You damn straight. Let's start this week off here in style. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report. Number one, Sports Show, a man that was 16 times the Wrestling Zero World Champion. He's the reigning, defending, first ever Sportswire Champion. His name is simply put, OGS Yoshimatsu. The champ is here. Champ, how are we doing?
All I'm going to say is one thing. The champ, again, is here. I'm well, I guess, for the situation I've been given. I'm alive, but mentally I'm torn apart. I'm not going to shy away from it and lie and say I'm great. I'm just doing what I'm doing at the moment, just running on fumes.
Well, how you doing all this? I mean, you know, we know what happened with the match with Ragnar and everything else with that. And then you come back last episode on Stampede and you've been dealing with, let's just say some things in your personal life and music. And I mean, I just don't know how you're doing it, but I guess the only way, what you kind of said in talking about the passing of Kono Akumi, is you got to go forward. And really, that's the only way you can is, again, everything you're going through. In a way, you're almost like the shirt I've got, John Wick. You're almost like John Wick right now. Lost his wife,
Very much
dog.
so.
You almost could be the John Wick right now of backyard wrestling. But, I mean, the only way you can process all of this, I guess, is to go forward. But I'll ask to start it off here. For those that are listening and watching here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that Yoshimatsu, Matsuda, and Wrestling Zero helped build, Pro Sportswire Radio, how are you feeling physically first? Because we know the injuries. We know that. But how are you feeling physically? Let's go with that first.
Well, I can be fully honest. I feel like shit. No language intended.
It's okay. People have said far worse the last 2 days.
Well, the neck's healed up mostly.
Okay.
I've got an umbilical hernia, so that's great.
That's
pretty
painful.
much my
I had
stomach,
an uncle that had that twice. It's not a fun injury I have.
stomach went peekaboo through my muscle wall, so we got it sewed up. I'm currently with stitches, waiting for them to dissolve so I can recover and get back into the ring. But I don't even know if I'll be in the ring by December. We're just going to work on it and see how I go. Moving's a pain in the ass, but I guess it's just trying to rehab and get back as quick as I can so I can handle my business and then leave.
Well, you talked about, as we know, for those that have been watching Wrestling Zero, you had the 3 matches, and there's a lot that's happened since. So you had a match that I don't know if that counted toward that. So, I mean, will you be able to have these matches? I mean, the neck injury was one thing, and we know your history with that even from being here, and you talked about that on Wrestling Zero TV, which we'll put the YouTube link up here in a few minutes for. But, I mean, how does that impact what originally was to be the 3 matches you were supposed to have?
Well, I can definitely tell you it's not 3. We're going further than that. I have decided I'm going to absolutely destroy my body in memory of my beautiful, beautiful partner and the story that she's laid out for us and left for us. And I'm going to tell this story to the best of my ability. All of the boys backstage have been working their asses off to, build this storyline, work hard, and fulfill Kumi's final vision. So I can promise you I've got more than 3 matches left. The neck is great. It's still sore, but, I'll get over it. The hernia is going to heal up in a few weeks. I'll be back in December. I'm going to decimate this false shogun, this false prophet, take back what's mine, leave, and then I'm going to retire and disappear into nothingness.
That was the plan. I think when you came on the second time, we spoke about this. I want to say about like 2.5 months ago. But I mean, obviously, okay, I got some of that. But I mean, does that put pressure on you? Because we knew the original plans. Then you were talking about, coming here to America and having one more match. But that's obviously, totally out the window. And again, completely understand the circumstances. But does that put even more pressure on you because of just what has now happened, not alone with the injury, but now in your personal life with somebody that just meant so much to you in Kono Akumi?
Man, you throw me for a loop. Didn't actually expect to get asked this question. Honestly,
I wish I didn't have to ask it. I wish I could have just talked about the original plan was just talking about your album and probably throw a few dibs at Ace Reed, but really that really wasn't to happen, unfortunately.
At this point, I'm not even going to throw jabs at Ace. I mean,
he's got his own problems. He's going to be here before the end of the year, so don't you worry.
I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what my goal is. I know what I want. I know what I'm coming back for. I know that the Jinbaiori is the one thing that I care about that's left on this earth, and that's the only thing I'm focused on. And whether, without Kumi, it's going to be difficult. And it's eating me up inside, and I'm motivated, I'm traumatized, I'm ready to destroy everything in my way just to reclaim what's rightfully mine. I mean, I'm going off track, but just let me ramble for a minute. This false shogun, this wannabe Yoshimatsu Matsuda takes my Jinbaiori after I late in the ring as a sign of respect and then takes it and claims it for himself when I'm not retired yet. The rule was he would take over as Shogun when I retire. So for him to throw it back in my face and then, you know, taunt me with it and then, expect no retaliation, I pulled up at ground zero and I just lost my shit. I took what he held so dear. You take what's mine, I take what's yours. So
We
it's
just
it's
saw
an eye
that
for
just
an eye, basically.
well, we just saw that. I mean, what a great segue. I mean, who would have guessed that Richman would be the national champion? I mean, that was definitely one that I didn't see coming there in watching Wrestling Zero.
Look, he's like a multiple-time YouTube champion. He can wrestle for shit, but he's a better wrestler than Jay Ryan. So
Yeah.
kudos. Rich man got it. I mean, back around Revolution time, I was
We spoke about him a
ill.
little bit in
Yes,
prior shows. We
but
did.
you know what? I don't care about Rich Man. He can have the title. I just wanted to cost Jay something that he holds dear, and you know, he's been talking mad. He's been saying some stuff, and I lost it. And I was like, don't you dare mention Kumi's name, saying that she acknowledged you as Shogun, because deep down, what she says on social media does not mean shit when it comes to Ground Zero. She declared me the one true Shogun, the OGS. Just because you're taking over when I retire doesn't mean you get to take over now. And what did he do? He took over. So I came back, beat his ass, beat up whatever the other guy's name is, took the Sportswire title, left.
Alex
Now I'm
James.
just waiting to recover.
Do you think that it was too much for him too soon?
He's just egotistical.
Because he
He's
came
just
here like right afterward. This is where it all happened, pretty much. I mean, literally, he was here about a month ago, and then all of a sudden, that's kind of where this all led to where it is now. That's why
he
I was wondering.
was he was starting to show those signs a long time ago, and I was kind of, all right, I'm going to play it easy. I'm going to see if he can improve himself. He showed his true colors. He's an opportunistic, all the bad words under the sun. He is egotistical, cracks it when he doesn't get his own way, got fired twice, and then realized, oh, damn, maybe I should correct myself. But maybe he doesn't realize that I'm CEO and I could fire his ass and leave him on the road. Thing is, he was homeless. I gave him a
Talk about
platform, and
that
then
here. He was here, and he talked a lot about owing you. He talked about the debt of gratitude he had for you, and then
look
it
what he
led
does.
that just dissolved quicker than those little sugars you put into your coffee. But okay, let me ask you though something else, and I'll come back to that. I know I got X amount of time with you, and I'm going to do the best I can. All that I want to talk about that. Plus, I got an announcement. Plus, I want to give you something on behalf of Kono Okumi. I know I could never do anything to really replace that, but I'm going to do the best I can in honoring her and everything that she's done for this great sport. But you're doing now interim duties here as COO. And how is that now? I know we spoke about some of this in the past, but being this interim CEO now for a while, you get maybe head of a creative, and you talked about some of that on your Instagram video. But like, what's that process like been now over these past several days?
It's been difficult. The current board of directors that we've sat with, our team has been absolutely amazing. Hideo Utai, the owner of Battleground Holdings, has been an amazing support. They've been able to, cement Kumiko's story for one last run. Faye put in an amazing final story, and we're going with it word for word. Utai's been amazing. I mean, Ryusuke Atamoto is an amazing support as well, PXW original. Hennigan as well has stepped up. Johnny Ryder's stepped up. There's
And
a
our
lot of
sponsor,
boys.
shout out to W as well. W's still been with us.
W's been really great support through this. And, I'm not going to be the forever CEO. I'm just a temporary stand-in when we get a new CEO. Whenever that is, we'll work it out. But at the moment, it's just telling Kumi's final story. It's the one she wrote, the one she had finished, and it's been rough. It's been rough trying to get the boys together to try and do what we did. And we had a tribute show on the weekend. We were able to pay homage to Kumiko, do what was necessary to make her memory live on.
Sure.
And now I guess it's just the struggle of trying to work out the landscape of the company without her here. Uh, I'll be honest, I'm not the greatest CEO. I'm not the greatest storyteller. But when it comes to her, she left us behind thousands of hours worth of
Footage.
content to put
Sure.
out. And, she's got about 4 hours of voice work as he's an army that we're going to be using in Clash of Kami. So I can't wait to see what people, think of her final work.
Well, I want to give a plug because I see a bunch of people tuning in right now on YouTube and X. I want to thank my buddy Ernest Dove for sharing it. My buddy, the mayor of Canton on X. They got thousands of followers. They were gracious to share the link on X. So if you are here, please hit the sub button for our friends in Wrestling Zero, especially everything that Mr. Matsuda and the talent have went through with the loss of Kona Akumi has meant so much to us here in terms of designing this company and putting this company here to where I think it will grow to even bigger and better heights. So if I could really appreciate everybody hitting that sub button, telling your friends, that's the best way we honor anybody's memory. Let me ask you, though, one question on the situation with finding somebody to be in charge. Will you look to the sponsors? Will it be, something where those outside people, because of the faith that they have in the company, because you guys are in a very unique situation, will that be something that they'll have an input on?
Yes. So we're currently throwing around replacements, and Hideo Utai, the owner, has come up as obviously the director of Battleground Holdings has come up in conversation. Me and him have spoken personally about him becoming CEO. We've also spoken about, certain other individuals in the industry that have had experience running wrestling companies, but this is mine and Kumi's baby. This is Tom's baby. We don't just want to hand it over to some random. We have to get to know them first. We have to bring them on board, see how they do, and see if they really love the product as much as what we do. So it's a very, very hard selection process. We're going through and trying to find people that have similar mindsets and a vision for what we intended it to be. Our catchphrase is we zero in on the future. So we want someone that can embody that and look towards the future instead of dwelling in the past and kind of push us in the right direction.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more on that. And I think it's always best to think about the future. And I still believe that the future is very bright when it comes to Wrestling Zero. And we'll certainly, I'm sure, monitor that. But I do want to ask you, because obviously you've got a piece of property there, and it's obviously sort of related to Sportswire Radio. So on a positive note here, let's talk about the positives here. And it's a pretty belt, by the way. My friend Luke Leyland, by the way, who commented about that on Instagram. We're going to put the match up here in a few minutes. I mean, Luke Leyland, who, by the way, fought in Dombe, was trained by Dean Allmark. I mean, if he says it's great, it's definitely great. So I have to ask you then formally, I mean, what does it mean now to be the Sportswire Radio champion? I mean, congratulations.
I mean, it's a beautiful
It
belt.
looks pretty
It's a
freaking good. I gotta
beautiful,
tell you what. I
it's a
mean,
beautiful belt, and you gotta credit the late great for this one.
absolutely.
She busted her ass. She mocked up the designs on Photoshop, then sent them through. I was like, yeah, let's build this shit out of materials we find around Ground Zero because of that, grungy style that we're known for. It's a beautiful championship, and originally the intention wasn't for me to win it, but everything happened so fast, and I just kind of was like,
Well, if he gave it
I
to
feel
Ace
like
to give him another championship, I mean, come on.
no, we're not giving that to him.
I
It
was a
makes
joke.
sense.
It would just,
The
he'll
amount
use
of
that
the,
against me now.
the amount of times I've appeared on Sportswire, and I've been the voice for Wrestling Zero on this,
You've been one of my
on this
favorite guests
platform.
the last few months.
Thank you.
Really, it's been an interesting last few months, but you have been one of those. I really feel like bright lights, the biggest lights, the brightest lights, the biggest stage. You have been like one of those people. Like I was really, excited to have you. I mean, I really always love having you here. You've been like the last, like I want to say, like 5 or 6 months. When I look back, you have been one of my favorite guests that's really like risen here. Like, I mean, yes, I see James and Chase, they've been regulars here. There's a lot. Nicholas Crenton's been here for 2.5 years, but you have been like over the past 6 months. I feel like probably you and like Big Man Cam have been probably like my two favorite new people that have come on here, honestly.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Thank you. You know, it's amazing opportunity to be the face of the All Wrestling Matters movement in Wrestling Zero, if not the world. You know, I'm here representing this platform and Wrestling Zero on a wider stage. You know, I'm always a Wrestling Zero guy. I'm never going to jump promotions and go somewhere else. Obviously, I'll do work outside, but I'd never leave my home. And it's an honor to be the Sportswire champion, the Wrestling Zero Sportswire champion. And as you can see, I just let go. I was tired
And
of
you're doing
playing
this match,
around.
by the way, for those that don't know, because I see some people here like Nicholas and James who definitely know injuries, even Mr. Wakefield. You're doing this match not at 100%. You're doing it at like what,
Nope.
10%?
Pretty much, it's a
See?
it's a half healed hairline fracture in the C6 and a umbilical hernia. So
We were talking
I'm
about the hernia. I know a little bit about that because in college I had almost kind of the same injury, so I know the injury. It's a very painful injury.
and mind you, I've had a keyhole surgery since I occurred the injury, and it's healing up all right. I've just got to go back for some more ultrasounds to kind of see if it's going to heal up. If not, I'm probably going to end my career, but we're just going to see how it goes. It's just kind of play it by ear, see how I go medically, and just end my career as best I can.
Well, you're certainly ending it the way that you, I think, are going to continue to make us all proud here. But, I'm going to take this off the screen for a minute. And while I do see people here, go hit the sub button for Wrestling Zero because I would really appreciate that. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. I'm going to really appreciate it even more. But, Mr. Matsuda, I think it's a good time to segue into this very briefly because, you talked about Mr. Matsuda. You talked about management. You talked about the board of directors. You talked about a number of different things. Now, Mr. Matsuda, we were speaking off the air last week, obviously talking about your return to Sportswire Radio, and you had given me a proposal, sir, and no, not that kind of proposal, but a proposal to be a little bit more involved in Wrestling Zero. And obviously, we see that Sportswire championship, and I think that you're going to get an answer because for those that are listening and watching here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, certainly the platform that you have certainly shined on here over these past several months, you wanted me to be a part of Wrestling Zero. You wanted me to be a part of your board of directors. You want an answer? Can you handle an answer? Because you're going
I
to
can
get
handle it.
the answer. And that answer, sir, is going to be yes, yes, yes. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to join Wrestling Zero to be on your board of directors. I'm going to be there. So when you want to talk about advice, you want to talk about whatever it could be, because this is a company that I got a lot of faith in. I got a lot of faith in you. I got a lot of faith in the talent. I see the vision. I see the product. I see the growth. And I see the opportunities. Worldwide global ambassador. Opportunities galore. What you've done outside of the wrestling world in your career, the opportunities I think are only going to continue because certainly after this, whatever your in-ring career has left, you're going to be more involved than ever in the wrestling world. And I think this is a great way to reimagine Sportswire Radio, to reimagine a lot of the different things. Recently we've added promo wrestling to be a part of this All Wrestling Matters movement. We've been so blessed to have all these different promo artists come on here. And I think an even better way to reimagine what Sportswire Radio has to offer, because we are the only platform, by the way, unabashed, unafraid to say we bring on the pros, the independents, the underground, the deathmatch, the hardcore guys, the UK guys, and most certainly the backyard wrestlers. And what better way now to add into that is to be a part of Wrestling Zero, the premier and the greatest Australian backyard wrestling company of all time, to be a part of the company. And your answer is yes. And congratulations. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. And I can't wait to have you on Thunder as our commissioner. It's going to be an amazing opportunity. I can't wait to see what, adventures you all get up to. I'm expecting some Teddy Long type of stuff from you, so I'm excited to see,
You know what?
the
I don't
one-on-one
know if
with
I'm
the
going to go that
Undertaker.
far. I don't think I'm going to go player and sucker and do those things. But I think that obviously, look, I definitely want to use the platform to promote and support Wrestling Zero. I think being on the board, I think, being a commissioner, I think that'll certainly, hopefully, I think put more eyes to the product here in this country. Obviously, what you guys have done in Australia speaks for itself. The partnerships with Battleground Holdings and everything else involved with wrestling is what you guys have done outside of that. But I think that the opportunity would be really great here. And I do want to say hello to RTG. I have you next week, RTG. I had it on the schedule. We were here next week. We were here next Monday night. So I just want to confirm that there. But I think that it's a great opportunity to have you with here and to share that announcement for the audience. And I really look
Indeed.
forward to the future of Wrestling Zero.
Thank you. Looking forward to working with you. It's going to be good.
Yes, yeah, definitely. That's definitely the case here. But I speaking of things that I'd like to present, and I know obviously it's still a tough thing to talk about, but I did have something that I wanted to present to you, and I know it's not going to certainly add or really do anything to change the situation. But I had something I wanted to present to you for everything that Kona Akumi has done for our sport. And I'd like to put it on the screen now. And on this date here, on November the 18th, 2024, it is Kona Akumi Day here on all Sportswire radio platforms, on YouTube at Sportswire Radio 6579 right here, Twitch at Sportswire Radio, TikTok at Sportswire Radio, X at Thomas Price 2017, Tumblr at Sportswire Radio, Facebook at Sportswire Radio, Facebook at Tom Bryce, also Instagram at the Sports Report 2021, and as well on Sports Report X on Facebook and our internet radio station, which we're also heard right now for the audio version. In case you don't want to see my mutton chops, at sportswireradio.org. It is Kona Akumi Day, and we definitely miss you, Kona. We definitely are praying for you and everybody else in the locker room, and certainly you, Mr. Matsuda. But I thought this was the least I could do in presenting you something that will hopefully honor her memory and what she has meant to our circuit and especially to the sport that we all love dearly here in wrestling.
Man,
Well,
you made me cry. That's
I thought I wasn't going to do that tonight, but that was...
it's fine, man. No, I very much appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I had to do something to honor. I mean, I can't just let you. I can't let you walk away tonight empty-handed. I mean, no, it's not in exchange for me being in Wrestling Zero. No, that has nothing to do with that. Trust me, I don't need anything. Trust me, I did. I took the position for that because if I could help the community and help wrestling, I'm more than happy to do that. That I don't need it. I don't need one penny. I think even Zilla asked, "Oh, do people get paid or do I get paid?" No, I don't need. I'm like you, Mr. Matsuda. I don't need a single penny to do this. But we appreciate what people bring here. But this was something that I think that you earned. And the locker room, and I know it can't take away from what you went through here these last several weeks, but we wanted to do something a little special.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. She'd be so grateful for this. Means a lot, man. Means a lot. Just to see a legacy live on. Just
it's gonna definitely live on because so many people watch what you guys bring to the table. You guys have been a staple here. I think that's not gonna change. I think obviously that's gonna never die. And I think that what's the beauty of what you guys have. You guys have a YouTube product that a lot of people around the world watch. You guys have a lot of subscribers. You guys have certainly, I think, added something that's fun. You guys have a fun product. You guys also have a really, I think, interesting product versus other companies that come on here. The storylines are intense. They're well written. There's a lot of character dialogue. It's very cinematic. It's movie-like. And I think what you guys have been doing is reimagining the backyard wrestling circuit. And I think that that's not going to change. That's never going to change. Obviously we would wish Kumi would be here right now. But
Dude.
I think that that's the best we can do is just continue to honor that that legacy. And I really believe with Wrestling Zero going forward that we have a lot to look forward to.
Thank you.
No, you're most certainly welcome here. But let me take this off the screen. Let me try to get you back on track so I can get to the chat because I only got X amount of time with you. So let me say hello to some people here. First of all, yes, Zilla would like to say hello. Yes, definitely hello to Mr. Matsuda.
Acknowledge the OGS.
We're very happy about that. Chase Wakefield is here, who, by the way, is getting married in August.
Congratulations,
And
Chase.
he's doing
That's
a
an
wrestling
amazing
wedding
achievement.
invitational. Now, do you want to be invited to this?
Oh man, I wish I could.
All right,
Obviously, my trip to the US is
what's in
a
August?
somber one.
It's in August, though. We got
August next year. Okay,
yeah, we got August.
I'd have to think on it.
All right. Well, you know what? Good news for you is he's going to be here in December, and I'm going to grill him on bringing more global talent to the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. So I'll make sure that Mr. Wakefield gets grilled on the stand. Yes, we definitely acknowledge and bow down in respect to Yoshimatsu Matsuda. Yes, we definitely bow down. I think I know who this is very well. One of your talent members roster is here, who's been here on the last couple of chats. Would like to say hello. Hello, good sir. Mr. Ryan, I believe we're talking to. Hello there. How you doing? Yes. Yes, we're very sorry about the loss from Mr. Matsuda. We're definitely praying
It
for
happens.
that. But congratulations on winning the Wrestling Zero Sportswire Radio Championship. The nameless one is here. It's been a big topic in the IMF, and yeah, a lot going on there. And they're nameless, but apparently Freddie Daniels' name was spelled out on yesterday's stream. So stay tuned for more of that. Yeah, you are an awesome guy, Yoshimatsu Matsuda. You are a pretty awesome guy.
This is one of the members of the realm that I think's being taken advantage of. I really wish you hadn't made the decision to turn against us, Robbie. But I understand you're doing what's best for your career, and I respect it. But thank you. I appreciate the love.
So I guess does that mean I get to talk to him about this now? Does that mean?
I mean, yeah.
Well, I guess I think I think we follow each other on Instagram. If he wants to talk Wrestling Zero roster members, I'm expecting my DMs now to be open. I'm expecting that. Well, Ace already knows me, so I don't have. I'm sure I'm going to hear a lot about this with Ace. James Taylor, speaking of people that know a lot about front office decisions, the ROEW owner is here once again, who I just watched him on TikTok.
Good to see you, my friend.
I just watched him on TikTok with Stone Cold's cat Poncho. Yesterday, I think it was the chickens going into Stone Cold's car. Now it was Poncho on like some cat thing. So yeah, that was that. But between the chickens, the turkeys, to be fair, in my home community the other day on TikTok, I went viral because you're gonna laugh. You'll never believe this. In New York City, we actually, where I live, is a bastion for turkeys, and I made a video on my TikTok of all these turkeys where I was walking. And it went like viral on TikTok. I got like 700 or 800 views, and people were like messaging me like, "Really? This is New York City?" I'm like, "Yeah, actually, but that's a different conversation for a different time." Chase is here again. Yes, the real OGS Yoshimatsu Matsuda. Not who. Let's not go there. Yes, hello there to Mr. Matsuda, Nicholas Crenton, my buddy Nicholas Crenton from a couple of places. I hope Nicholas is feeling better because Nicholas also had his own injury, and I hope he's doing well. Yeah, I gotta say, what a championship, by the way. What a beautiful.
Let's show it off to the fans, so they can have a look.
I have 128 people watching right now, so yeah, that's a good idea.
So we got Sportswire Championship in the middle, and on every side plate, each side plate, AWM.
I like that, because we have the All Wrestling Matters World Underground Championship, which I obviously played a role in, and D'Angelo the Flame is that champion. But this one's the Sportswire champion. So this one's just like it rings more of a bell. I mean, we love D'Angelo. I mean, D'Angelo's.
I'm the only one that put $25 towards his training at Nightmare Factory. Go to his thingy and support that. Everyone go do that.
We're gonna get on Sportswire to get him on for that. We'll do that. But we'll go through that. Yep, beautiful championship. We're doing good. RTG is here. Yes, and I think I will phrase it again. Next Monday night we're here. When are we on next? Next Monday night. I read it differently. It's next Monday night. The general manager, speaking of front office individuals and champions like you, RTG from BTW. BTW is just an amazing company. Jacob Frost, Comatose, well. So a lot of those RJS. Love BTW. They got a big show coming up tomorrow at 6. And I'm looking forward to that. Unfortunately, I might not be in the chat, but I'm going to be watching because RTG is here next Monday, right before Turkey Day. Yeah, it's an amazing belt.
And Zilla, do you know what? You have to be a zero signee to compete for it.
It's a clever one there. Clever one there, sir. That was a clever one there. Thank you, Zill. I appreciate that. I am looking forward to being a part of Wrestling Zero and being a part of the company. Yes, thoughts and prayers. We are definitely praying for Kono Akumi, and we're all praying for you. Hello there. Yes, Liz from WC is also saying hello to you, being the true greatest of all time. And can I say happy Kono Akumi Day? You can say that. Yeah, it's that's the point. We all want to
I
honor
feel
her.
like I feel
What?
like November 18th being Kono Akumi Day, it's unique
Well, I'll
because her
tell you what
birthday
we'll
is
do.
on
I'll tell you
August
what. I'm
16th.
gonna make you feel good on this. I know you had some tears. You shed some tears earlier, but I'm gonna make every day, November 18th, every year, November 18th, we'll make it Kono Akumi Day.
Don't need
No,
to.
seriously.
Don't need to, my friend.
I can do it. We have 1,300 subscribers on Sportswire. I mean, listen, I have thousands of people that apparently subscribe to this platform. So yeah, we'll do that. See you in 2025, Kono Akumi Day, November 18th. Maybe then we'll put Kono Akumi in the Hall of Fame that day too. So see you then. Yeah, there you go. Hello there, Sportswire. Yes, thank you. I think you tuned in on Anthony Steele's stream. Nice to see you. I think you also do a podcast, right? I think we followed each other on Instagram, right? Good to see you. Nice to see you, my man. Great stuff there. And if you are here, my man, you got to go follow Matsuda and also Wrestling Zero. I got to get the subs up because I am a part of it now. I'm on the board of directors. I'm the commissioner. So you got to make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Zero because if you subscribe to them, you're essentially subscribing to me. I would appreciate that very much. So go, please hit that sub button. I'm going to put up Wrestling Zero's Instagram page here up shortly. I got X amount of time with you, Mr. Matsuda, and I got to talk about the reason you were originally here, champ, was you were supposed to have this album. We were going to be talking about track by track. We were going to be talking about diss track by diss track, but apparently something is going on. So you might want to answer for what everybody was looking forward to is listening to that new album.
Well,
And what's going on?
today was meant to be the drop of my third studio project known as The Reclamation. Label and I put hard work in. We got all the features back on time. We got everything sorted. And then come yesterday, the album didn't drop. So I don't know what's going on with DistroKid, which is the distributor we use. They haven't given me any email, any information on, what's going on. No, update on when we're going to see the album drop. So I can't promise it's going to be out anytime soon because DistroKid's just holding it hostage at the moment. But I can play a few songs if you'd let me.
I would. You're Mr. Matsuda. You're the OGS. So you tell me. I can go to your YouTube page and I can pull up a couple tracks where I'm going.
I'm trying to work it out here how I can.
You can share your screen if you want to share. You should have down below and share the screen because we did this on one of my shows with a basketball player. You can go. You have the option to share your screen and we can play it through there if you like. Or you can give me the link and I'll put it up here to whatever is more convenient. You tell me where to go. You tell me where to go, champ, or you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm setting it up now. I've got the window share. Oh,
I see it right here. Yeah, I got it. Okay.
I don't know how to share audio though, so.
You know what? Yeah, you might click on that, see if it plays.
All right. We good?
We don't hear anything.
Okay.
Is it the song on YouTube? Is it the song on YouTube? With
yes.
Through there. I got it.
If you could pop it up.
I can do that right now, actually. So you give me 2 seconds because that's where I originally thought you were going to ask me. So I got that right in front of me. So you just wait right here. I'm going to go like this. I got it. I got where I need to go. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to play it right here for the audience. So we're going to get that remix song from Boba Fett. I got it right here. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like that because that's what we do here on Sportswire Radio. We give you everything possible. So let's go like this.
It's a banger. full song.
You like your vet, though you prefer private jet. She like man who back up a threat. Tell me what she don't regret, baby. Let's make Gator wet. You be Fennec Shan, baby, and I'll be Boba Fett. I'll be Boba Fett. I'll be Boba. I'll be Boba Fett.
You tell my voice is very aggressive.
You be Fennec Shan, I'll be Boba Fett. I'll be Boba Fett. I'll be Boba Fett.
Don't want to play too much. Don't want to spoil the fun.
Yeah, let's not do that. We'll take this off the screen. But I'll tell you what we are going to do to make things a lot easier. If you want to go out and hit that sub button for me, that's Mr. Matsuda's YouTube page. You can check out some of the new music. You can check out different things if you want, in addition to Wrestling Zero. That is that YouTube page. Go hit that sub button for me. I'd really appreciate that. He would appreciate that, especially as an artist. Every artist wants to get rewarded for their craft. This is how you reward him. He's got a hit single out there. It's got almost mid.
It's right there.
I see it.
47.
Listen. The hits are there. 47K. I want to get it to 50K. I want to get all these tracks to 50K. So what you're gonna do for me is you're gonna hit that sub button for me, and I would appreciate that. So music will be out then through here and some other platforms, and I think people will be excited. From what I heard there, it's going to be a banger. It's going to be, I think,
Indeed.
track by track, and hopefully you'd like to come back, very soon to, talk about the full album release. And sometimes,
I can actually reveal the track list to you guys if you want right now.
Listen, absolutely.
So, obviously, you guys have seen that we dropped
Mr. Matsuda, we're losing you here.
Industry Killer, Feature of the Hunter. That's track number 1. Track or too many, but with Fair remix at number 3. Oh, internet.
Yeah, we're losing you a little bit. Yeah, your internet's fading a little bit here. If you don't share the screen, if it's anything. Now I'm getting you back. We were cloudy, but I can hear you now. Go ahead, sir. Nope, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Mr. Matsuda. The OGS. Hopefully you have some OGS like it. Do I hear Mr. Matsuda? Are you okay, Mr. Matsuda? Oh, and thank you, Mr. Jared. Yes, thank you for enjoying Sportswire. Yes, I think we follow each other. I think now a little bit better. Yeah, go ahead. I'm still having a hard time hearing you. Mr. Matsuda.
No. There we go.
Okay.
How are we?
I'm great. Are you okay now? Good. Okay.
Yes. Just had a Australian internet.
It's okay. Listen, trust me. I have the UK wrestlers coming back here. I just started bringing them back on. I get it. So we've got a bunch of tracks, and everybody can look forward to seeing coming out.
Indeed. It's going to be an amazing project, and I don't want to reveal too much, but it is going to be a 20-track album. I know it's going to be around 10 to 11, but we kind of slid a few extra tracks in there to kind of spice it up a little bit. I can't promise what songs, but if you're an OG fan, a few original songs will be on the project. It's going to be an amazing ride. I can't wait for people to hear.
Well, I'm excited about all of that, and we definitely want people to pay attention to that, and we'll certainly talk about that. But okay, so we got obviously a couple different things out of the way. I've got about another 20 minutes with you, so I'm going to go shotgun here, basically, not to be confused with the Shogun. But so what is next then for Wrestling Zero? We've talked a lot about past. We know we've got some stuff coming up here. Let's talk about what can we expect going forward here in Wrestling Zero.
Expect me to reclaim my throne as Shogun, become the one true Shogun as my late partner bestowed and decreed. I'm going to tear down this false Shogun, take my Jin Bayori back, and then I'm going to absolutely destroy everything that he stands for, because he is a liar, he's a cheat, he's a stealer, he's a thief, he's a scumbag, and I'm going to take what's mine, because the legacy of Lord Koronakumi gave me one thing, and that was, I am the one true Shogun. Long live the OGS. That was her words, her decree. Jay Ryan ain't the Shogun. Now, when it comes to the rest of the roster, they're going to do their best to bring the company to a new era. We're in the Yoshimatsu Matsuda era. Well, I'm going to showcase my mediocre ability to tell stories
That's
and
not true. Stop.
do
Stop
my
saying.
best. Do my
Let's.
best. Compared to Faye, I
Well,
could
that
never
well
hold a candle.
from that point, yes. Well, that's she did so much for us, but
And I can't wait to see what you guys think about season 5 when it comes. Season 4's obviously the good thing about Wrestling Zero is the way Faye wrote the stories was that there was undertones of different themes. Season 1 being about uh rightful place, coming back for what you never lost, and then season 2 being about that fight between the gods and morality and finding meaning, and then season 3 being about truth and ideals, and then season 4 obviously being about legacy being the underlying theme for the season.
speaking of underlying themes, before I do that, I want to say hello to Jared. Yes, CPF was supposed to be here, but we had a scheduling issue Wednesday night. That's going to be Wednesday, 10 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. So I just want to clarify that. Thank you for asking. But speaking of things that we do have to talk about, he is here, and that is Ace Reed. Ace Reed.
How you doing, man? I know things haven't been great for you on your end, so I hope you're doing okay. Obviously, my drama with Ace at Capital Combat stemmed from this whole Shogun thing. Just, Ace, you've got Tom Hennigan. I'm assuming, again, if he wants to face you. I've made it clear I want to face you for the world title, but at this point, it's based on when you want to show up. And I'm not expecting you to come and, make your presence known. I can understand it's a rough time for all of us, and, losing Faye's not something that we expected, but I know that when you do come back, you and I will have a banger of a match, and I will obviously, I had to do what I had to do. I had to dragon fist you in the face twice because you didn't respect us, and hopefully now you've learned to respect us and what we do. It was not even about hatred towards you. It was literally you didn't respect us. So I did the only thing I knew how, and that was to teach you a physical lesson on how to respect your elders. So hopefully when he comes back, he'll be more humble and respectful. If not, well, it means I've got to put down a hardcore kid.
Well, you did that certainly at the end of this, what we're about to watch, but you mentioned Tom Hennigan. Where does Tom Hennigan fall into all of this with you and what you're going to do for the rest of your career here in Wrestling Zero? Where does Tom Hennigan fall into all of this? You mentioned him maybe getting another shot at Ace Reed, but where does he fall into it in terms of, is he side by side with you in this or what? Okay.
Not at the moment. He's my longtime rival and my best friend, but at this show, he made it clear he doesn't want to stand with us just yet. He was a bit confused as to why I attacked Ace, and I can understand why he'd be upset because what I said to him after the match: stand with me or against me, acknowledge your OGS. I knew that Jay was going to start this little rebellion of his, and I knew he was going to do this because he said it in his promo. I thought Tom would be the one to stand by me the first time around, but it looks like Tom's not interested in our little civil war. He's more interested, he's not interested in this new Sengoku Jidai period. He's more worried about the World Heavyweight Championship and Ace Reed. And I respect that. I didn't go and attack him at Capital Combat because he's not a problem for me. I know that he respects me and I respect him, and I respect his decision to challenge Ace, but he knows that Ace is also my problem too. So who knows? You could see the three of us in the ring together at the same time. That could be a banger of a match, but for the time being, Ace, as you can see, is Tom's problem. I just made it known to Ace that if you're going to disrespect me and Kumiko, you're going to get the worst out of me. And hopefully he's learned his lesson. Hopefully he's going to come back with a different headspace. And obviously he wasn't made aware of Kumiko's passing until a few days after. So a lot of this promos and stuff were a bit ill-timed.
Oh.
But it we can't help it. We can't help it. We can't expect something like that to happen. And I mean, look, he took out the victory. I'll give him credit. He didn't need outside help to do it, unlike Jay Ryan. He made it his thing. You know, he defended the title clean. You know, I just ensured he didn't run away. He walked out champ. You know what? He is our world heavyweight champion. And there you go. Me checking on him just to make sure Hennigan's okay. Because at this point, I was pissed. I was like, all right.
I don't blame you. You know, you
More
got
of
a
a
lot
CEO.
going.
Yeah, and I was more in a CEO leadership role. You know, Kumi was still around at this time. So Faye had told me, check on him, make sure that he's okay. Check Ace Reed, make sure that he knows he's done something. And this is when you see like the biggest moment in our company's history. Like, this is cinematic masterpiece. I don't know how the camera work was accidentally made so perfect, but you're about to see it, and it literally looks like something out of like a professional company. And we are
was very
professional.
movie-like.
To let Tom exit the ring. And man, and the debut of my new theme as well, like the edge of the ring too. Like, Yoshi's still feeling that pain. You know, he's got a broken neck and he still managed to Superman punch someone. That dragon fist collided with Ace's cheek earlier. That's probably what took the damage, and Yoshi's out. A handshake from Hennigan. And there we go, the two rivals staring down. Oh, and it's out ahead. These two hate each other, and what? Yoshi's staring down Hennigan now? I think he's made his position known. Yoshi, Dragon Fist.
Oh man, that, you know, when I saw that, I was like,
it's fully out ahead. Yoshi's made his.
That was just epic. That was when you did that.
Indeed.
I was thinking you were just gonna walk away. You were gonna move on, enjoy the rest of the day. There was spring-like weather in Australia, but yet you did that.
And this is where it all came down to a head, you know. I made it clear to Tom, this is where I said, you have a choice to make. You either stand with me or against me and acknowledge your OGS. And he's in confusion. He has no clue why I've just rocked the jaw of Ace Reed a second time. You know, I've got this title, you know, I'll come back and, you know, win it, and then you can have a shot. Give it to him. He holds it. He's confused. And then, yeah, he's going to give it back to me. He's like, he's in disbelief, and I don't blame him.
Oh, he just went through a war, and then just go through that, and then he's just trying to process all of it. You know, can you blame him?
No, not really. I can't blame him at all. You know, he's an incredible competitor, and, you know, I stop him and I say, yeah, stand with me or against me, acknowledge the OGS. And this is when he's like, huh, what? And then just gives me the title, and he's like, you just deal with your own problems. And this is where I just go yeet, and it lands on Ace's face, which is the perfect end to an episode. The world title sitting on Ace Reed's face, and yeah.
Well, Ace certainly had a couple comments, which I want to get to them here. And if you are here, we got an extra subscriber since we started the show. And I know we've only got about 10 or 15 minutes left, so I want to keep it to the point. He does want to say this, though, Mr. Reed. Wait till the next time I see you, Matsuda. Watch out for the neck. And then
maybe you should watch out. Ooh. Okay. Maybe you should watch out for that little... Oh, wait. Weren't you the dude that deep throats battered Savs? Ace Reed eats battered Savs the long way? Wait. I think I've got leaked footage of that. Maybe I should bring that up. plus the leaked footage of Jay Ryan for the next episode. I'll do that.
Oh boy, this is
After,
why you have to tune into Wrestling Zero, because that's the only place you're gonna watch that stuff.
but Ace, I appreciate you for the kind words. I thank you so much. Outside kayfabe, I consider you a good friend. Thank you for the all wishes. Kumi considered you an amazing competitor. She absolutely loved having you, and we're still going to have you after this. Your home's in Wrestling Zero, your home's in BWDU. We're never going to let you go, man. You've been an amazing part of this, and I can fully admit, there would be no Wrestling Zero as big as what it would be now without Ace Raid, but it wouldn't be the same without Kumi
Ace,
either.
we're not speaking. I mean, to be honest, I mean, Ace. Do you know that I'm going to be involved in Wrestling Zero? I'm sure you heard about it by now. But I mean, I wouldn't be talking.
So no shenanigans.
I'm gonna listen. You're not. I'm gonna go down the middle. I am not. You're not gonna see me do, one of these character things. I'm gonna try my best to be right down the middle, just like I always do in my day life and everything else. But without Ace, we wouldn't be speaking. And I do want people to go hit the sub button for us here. My buddy Larry Gutman's here. I think I know who Larry is. It's AKA it's a Gutman. It's a good friend of mine. Hit the sub button for Wrestling Zero. And we're trying to get them to 100 more subscribers and 1,000 more subscribers, because now I'm the commissioner of Wrestling Zero, also on the board of directors. So definitely make sure you support Wrestling Zero. And yes, I'm with you, Zilla. I know, Barry, it's you. I was joking. I know it's you. You told me the other day it's you, but I was playing around. But yes, do hit the sub button for Wrestling Zero. We love and appreciate Wrestling Zero. You better believe we do. We love and appreciate Mr. Matsuda. But okay, so Ace's story, I got that. I got his story. But
that's another time, basically.
Another place, another time. We're gonna definitely get into that undoubtedly ahead. But when it comes to what are your goals left for the end of the year? I've been asking everybody, what's your goals left for the rest of the year? What are your goals left?
Obviously, I've made it clear that I want to reclaim my title as Shogun. Not just Shogun, but one true Shogun. Watch the next episode when it releases tomorrow. Everything will be made clear. Everything will be made completely crystal clear what's happening towards the end of the year. We've got New Dawn on the horizon. We've got Wrestle Dawn, PXW Wrestle Dawn. We've got Final Showdown, our WrestleMania at the end of the year. My goal is to go into Final Showdown with that Jin Bayori, reclaim the Wrestling Zero Championship and the Wrestling Zero World Championship, and retire the undisputed Shogun. I'm not talking about just title belts. I'm talking about having that Jin Bayori back over my shoulders with my family, and once again be the greatest of all time and retire the GOAT. I know everyone can call me the GOAT now, but wait until I have the undisputed title, or the Wrestling Zero title, and this, and the World Heavyweight Championship, and the Jin Bayori. Everyone will be saying, "Long live the OGS."
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I had a guy on Killshot who had 3 championship belts in his own promotion. But if Mr. Matsuda gets his wish before Wrestling Zero ends for this season, he could have just as many championships and even more. And he's only getting started. He might be going through a lot of pain physically and mentally, but that's only going to fuel him. That's only going to fuel him to have the best finish yet, and maybe the best matches yet of his career. You're going to want to watch all of it here on the Wrestling Zero YouTube page. I cannot stress this enough. How much before we get to closing daughter, you have to support Wrestling Zero. Wrestling Zero is right here on YouTube. Wrestling_Zero. I need everybody out there to hit that sub button, have their friends, tell their friends. They've already had big shows Even bigger shows are ahead. We saw the PXW premiere generate over 250 views. Capital Combat 300 plus. We've got now Stampede episode 7 over 100. The 100 sub shows well over 100. It's only getting bigger from here. It's only getting better from here. Why? Because yours truly is involved in Wrestling Zero now. So we're going to make sure it's our mission to support Wrestling Zero and everything that Mr. Matsuda does, and especially also because one more time before we move on, it is Kona Kumi Day. We pray for everybody that's impacted by it. We miss Kumi. We love Kumi. I'm thinking about this rap song. I can't believe I'm saying it. An MC Hammer rap song. He talks about we miss you, we love you, we pray, something like that. One of those lyrics. But the point is, we definitely pray. We definitely miss Kumi, but Kumi's always going to be here with us because of the legacy of Wrestling Zero. The best is yet to come. Wrestling Zero's got all of that, and I can't wait for what's in store here. Before I get to closing thoughts, I know that we've pretty much went through a lot in a short amount of time. Usually you're here for like 3 hours, but we're here for an hour, which really is still a lot of time. But the point is before we move on to closing thoughts, is there anything, Mr. Matsuda, that you like to share that we haven't covered that you like to tell the audience?
I guess there is.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh.
The Kono Hakumi tribute show. Not only will I'm not defending my title, so don't I'm not competing.
Ooh.
I'm out on injury, but I've been suspended medically, so I can't compete. I'm not even meant to be. Well, I'll be.
You weren't even supposed to be the Sportswire champion. It just was all impromptu.
No.
The national
when it comes,
covered also. Yeah,
I think I've got it now. I think my brain's working enough to kind of get it in. At the tribute show, I know we announced this months ago, and then it never happened. But you're going to see the debut of Mighty Fish.
Oh yes,
the PXW original is coming home to take on the Silencer in the opening show of the tribute show to Kumi. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible. Obviously, on closing thoughts, I'm going to have one last quote to say, but sure. I can't wait to see my Japanese brethren come home where they belong.
Excellent. Definitely. We want people to support and obviously think about that. But before we do get to closing thoughts, this is Mr. Matsuda's Instagram page. You can keep up to tabs with him on music. We have new music coming out. It's supposed to come out today, but it's going to come out very soon. Some of it's on YouTube already. Wrestling Zero is also on Instagram. You can check it out here. This is the Wrestling Zero Instagram link. This is where you can follow all things related to Wrestling Zero. You can see some of the stuff here behind the scenes work and the Kono Kumi tribute show. You can obviously see some different things here, some Instagram lives. You can see Mr. Matsuda here in action. He's obviously been suspended on medical grounds, but we certainly are hoping that he continues his recovery. And obviously what happened to him with the guy that used to be, that we thought was going to be the Shogun. We got a new national champion. Mr. Matsuda himself is also the Sportswire champion. Ace Reed's the champion. And we got Ragnar and just a lot of great things ahead. Please support our friends at Wrestling Zero. I cannot stress this enough. And it's time to give you the floor. I know I could have asked you a little more on the injury with Ragnar, but I'm going to do that a different time because you'll be recovered by then. So let me pass the baton to you. Let me give you some closing thoughts. And anything else you want to plug, share, or say, take it away.
Fine. This world shall know pain. Through all of this anguish, through all of this suffering, I have seen the worst of humanity. And Jay, we both want the same thing. We both want peace, the peace that Kumi spoke of. You and I are no different. We're both working for our own justice. The justice that I have meted out against you is exactly the same as what you are trying to met against me. Everyone feels the pain of loss the same. We both know about that pain, but you are working for the wrong side of justice, and I for mine. We are just ordinary people driven to revenge in the name of a great woman, and a title that means nothing. But if revenge is called justice, then that justice breeds yet more revenge, and becomes a chain of hatred, living within it, aware of the past and predicting the future. This is what it means to know history. We cannot help but know that our people cannot understand each other in this world full of warriors that is ruled by hatred. You will understand in time why I am in the right. My actions do not need explanations, because my actions are that of a man who knows his worth and his mettle. In time, you will understand this, once I take you out once and for all. Like I said, you will know the pain that I have suffered. There is no such thing as justice, only destruction.
Ladies and gentlemen, an emphatic statement from the OGS, the Sportswire champion, Yoshimatsu Matsuda. He has had enough. He's doing this despite his medical conditions. But he's doing this rather for Kona Akumi and her legacy and everything she did, not only for this great sport, but also Wrestling Zero. And yeah, long live Kona Akumi. Long live Wrestling Zero. And long live the OGS, Yoshimatsu Matsuda. I acknowledge, I respect, and I bow down to the former Oyaban, Mr. Matsuda, the reigning, defending Wrestling Zero Sportswire champion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you have to follow Wrestling Zero. You're going to see more footage coming out tomorrow. You're going to see plenty of Wrestling Zero footage ahead here coming up very, very soon. The Kona Akumi tribute show, plus who knows whatever else. And stay tuned here to Sportswire Radio and this platform for more updates, because after all, yours truly is now involved in Wrestling Zero. Again, on the board of directors as your commissioner. Stay tuned for much more in the coming weeks for that. And Mr. Matsuda, it is an honor. We certainly acknowledge you. We hope you continue to recover. We are certainly praying for everybody here in Wrestling Zero about what has happened here with Kona Akumi. And one more time, we'll make sure you get this when we're off the air. But it is, and we thank you. And we thank everybody that's tuned in here. And Mr. Ryan, we thank you. But just remember, Mr. Matsuda is on a path like he's never been on before. And you might want to tread very, very lightly. But Mr. Matsuda, we thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to the new music. We'll definitely get you back on here one more time before the year is out. And thank you for all that you do for our sport. And we're praying for everybody here, and especially for you and everybody impacted by the loss of just a true visionary in our sport, and the legendary Kona Akumi.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the one and only 16-time Wrestling Zero champion and current Sportswire champion from Wrestling Zero, Mr. Yoshimatsu Matsuda, the OGS. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. If you are on Sportswire Radio, I'm back here tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern Time with Godric Sandwell of PWX, not to be confused with our company here in the other country. But Godric Sandwell is going to be here. He'll talk about what's going on in PWX, and he'll talk about a slew of other things, and I'll be here a bunch of times on Wednesday. Stay tuned for more updates on that. But until then, yes, thank you, Mr. Ryan. You have a great day. Everybody here in the replay, thank you for that. Also hit the sub button for us on Sportswire Radio. I am one subscriber away from 1,300, so make sure you have your friends, their friends, and everybody else. Go hit the sub button for us on Sportswire Radio. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. Follow Wrestling Zero. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow here on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all wrestling matters.